Hold up, did you just read that headline right? Oh, you bet you did. Because today, we're not just talking about another celebrity scandal. No, no, no. We're talking about courtroom chaos, so wild, so unfiltered, so mind-blowingly bizarre. You'll wonder if this is real life or the world's most expensive prank show. Picture this, a global hip-hop mogul, billionaire parties, legal eagles in Armani suits, and right in the middle of it all, a victim takes the stand and drops a bombshell so sugary, so savage. Even Willy Wonka would be clutching his pearls. Now, let me ask you, have you ever seen a courtroom go from stiff upper lips to jaws on the floor in under 10 seconds flat? Have you ever imagined a legal team, paid more per hour than most of us make in a year, getting completely blindsided by a candy bar comparison that's about to become the meme of the century? Because that's exactly what just went down. If you thought you'd seen it all with Hollywood scandals, buckle up. Fam, this one's about to make the Amber Heard trial look like an episode of Sesame Street. Tonight, we dive deep into the chocolate-covered circus that's got the whole internet cackling, Diddy's lawyers sweating, and social media blowing up faster than a Mentos in a Coke bottle. Don't blink. This is the kind of mess you literally can't unsee. All right, buckle up, people, because if you thought celebrity scandals had already reached their peak, if you thought nothing could top the legendary fiascos of the past, let me hit you with this. Diddy, the man, the myth, the mogul, is now at the center of a courtroom spectacle so unhinged, even reality TV producers are taking notes. This is not just a trial, this is a certified viral event, the kind of jaw-dropping chaos that turns ordinary folks into conspiracy theorists and has meme pages working overtime. And you're about to get the unfiltered, sugar-coated, and yes, candy bar exposed truth. Let's set the scene, Manhattan, the city that never sleeps, mostly because every night there's a fresh scandal to binge watch. The paparazzi are outside. TMZ's got 3 vans parked curbside, and somewhere a nervous intern is praying their celebrity boss doesn't trend for all the wrong reasons. Inside the courthouse, Diddy, also known as Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, or just Puff, depending on which decade he's reinventing himself, sits surrounded by his army of lawyers. These aren't your average legal eagles. These are the types who bill in crypto, only wear custom Italian suits, and make even Harvey Specter look like he shops at Walmart. But even all the money, swagger, and bravado in the world couldn't prepare Diddy or his team for what was about to hit them. Because when Jane Doe, the anonymous, but now instantly legendary, accuser, stepped up to the witness stand, she brought the kind of courtroom drama you usually only see on Netflix, and let's be real, if this was scripted, people would call it unrealistic. Now, before we even get to the infamous Tootsie Roll moment, let's rewind a bit and lay out exactly who and what we're dealing with here. Diddy is not just some random C-list celebrity clinging to relevance by selling diet teas on Instagram. No, this is Mr. Bad Boy for life. Grammy Awards, platinum albums, billion-dollar parties, private jets, designer everything, and a Rolodex that probably includes half of Hollywood, and allegedly half of the FBI's people to watch list. The man built an empire on being untouchable, unbreakable, the center of every room he walks into. But now, all eyes are on him for all the wrong reasons. Let's talk about the history, because if you've followed even a sliver of hip-hop or pop culture, you know Diddy's name has been popping up in controversy since before shiny suit syndrome was a thing. From the infamous club shooting incident in the late 90s, to the never-ending beefs with other rap royalty, to the whispers about wild parties that make Wolf of Wall Street look like a Sunday brunch, this guy's reputation was built on scandal and spectacle. But today, even his biggest critics couldn't have predicted the absolute circus about to unfold. So, what's the deal? Why is Diddy sitting in a courtroom with his legal dream team looking like they just lost their Wi-Fi password? Well, it all started when Jane Doe, an accuser whose real identity is hidden, probably for her own safety and to avoid being the subject of at least 6 diss tracks, decided enough was enough. She came forward with a lawsuit so packed with bombshells, even the judge had to double-check it wasn't an Onion article. This wasn't your garden variety celebrity lawsuit, either. We're talking 60-plus lawsuits, federal investigations, allegations of racketeering, sex trafficking, and more plot twists than a season of Game of Thrones. Diddy was allegedly at the center of a shadowy network of enablers, freak-offs, lavish parties, secret recordings, baby oil by the gallon, and a collection of NDAs that would make any tech CEO jealous. But amidst all this, one moment stood out. The moment Jane Doe compared Diddy's privates to a candy bar, specifically a Tootsie Roll. And with that, the internet exploded. Let's paint the picture, shall we? Jane Doe takes the stand. The air is thick with anticipation and overpriced cologne. Diddy's lawyers are prepped, notes in hand, ready for any curveball, except the one about to be thrown. Jane starts detailing the events of a night in 2001, allegedly at Diddy's luxurious Manhattan apartment. She describes how, after a series of increasingly suspicious link-ups, she found herself alone with Diddy, and things went from awkward to absolutely appalling faster than you can say bad boy entertainment. Then comes the moment. The testimony that instantly trended worldwide, broke the internet, and probably had the Mars Candy Company calling their PR team. With a straight face, Jane Doe says Diddy's manhood resembled the length and girth of a large Tootsie Roll. The courtroom goes silent. Diddy's lawyers look like they just got hit with a wave of secondhand embarrassment. Social media? Instantly in flames. Memes, jokes, late-night monologues, and reaction videos hit YouTube faster than you can type Diddy Tootsie Roll. And it didn't stop there. Jane goes on to say she was actually relieved because, to put it bluntly, she figured it wouldn't hurt that much. I mean, come on. The shade, the level of petty, the audacity. This was legendary. The judge had to bang the gavel twice, just to restore order. Diddy, usually the king of comebacks, was left with nothing but a stunned expression and, allegedly, a deep regret about his career choices. Now, this is where the narrative splits in two. On one side, you've got Diddy's lawyers scrambling, whispering frantically, probably Googling, how to recover from being roasted in federal court. On the other side, you've got the internet, the real judge and jury in today's world, going absolutely ballistic. Hashtag Tootsie Roll trended in 10 countries. Itty Bitty Diddy was born a nickname so ruthless it may just stick for life. But before we dive any deeper into the fallout, let's take a closer look at the man behind the madness. Because this isn't just about one wild testimony. This is about a pattern of behavior, a lifestyle built on pushing boundaries, and a history of controversy that makes you wonder, how did it ever get this far? You see, Diddy's rise to fame wasn't just about talent. Sure, the guy could produce hits and throw parties that made Vegas blush, but his real skill was controlling the narrative, always staying one step ahead of the headlines. That is, until now. Because when Jane Doe took that stand, she didn't just tell her story. She shattered the myth of invincibility that's protected Diddy for decades. Of course, the courtroom drama didn't end with candy comparisons. Jane's testimony opened the floodgates, and soon, other details started leaking, some so bizarre, you'd swear they were outtakes from a failed Black Mirror episode. There were stories of bizarre parties, mystery guests, suspicious amounts of baby oil, and enough drama to fuel an entire season of Love and Hip Hop, Diddy Edition. Let's not forget the public reaction. As soon as news of the Tootsie Roll moment broke, it was as if the entire world hit pause on their problems and united for one glorious reason: to collectively roast Diddy. Twitter became a battlefield of memes. TikTokers rushed to recreate the scene, reenacting Jane Doe's testimony with candy props and dramatic music. Even celebrities jumped in. 50 Cent, never one to miss a chance to troll Diddy, posted a photo of a king-sized Tootsie Roll with a caption, "Not the size, but the legacy." Ouch. Meanwhile, Diddy's PR team must have been running around like contestants on The Amazing Race, desperately trying to spin the story. No comment. The allegations are baseless, and Mr. Combs denies all claims became the official lines, but honestly, it was too late. The meme machine was in full swing, and you can't put that genie or that Tootsie Roll back in the wrapper. But if you thought things couldn't get any wilder, you clearly haven't been paying attention to how these scandals escalate. Because as the world laughed, the legal sharks started circling. What began as a viral moment was quickly morphing into something far more serious: an avalanche of lawsuits, federal investigations, and, if the rumors are to be believed, some very nervous executives making some very expensive phone calls. And that, my friends, is where we leave off for part 1. Because as much as the world loves a good roast, the real story, the dark money, the cover-ups, the secret tapes, and the shocking leaks was just starting to bubble up from the candy-coated surface. So, what happens when the jokes fade, the memes settle, and the consequences come crashing down? Stick around, because in part 2, we're going deeper into the scandal. From anonymous sources with way too much tea to spill, to leaked reports that would make Edward Snowden blush, we're about to unravel the web of corruption, chaos, and controversy that might just make you question everything you thought you knew about the rich and famous. So here's where the story kicks into overdrive. Just as the world was catching its breath from the Tootsie Roll bombshell, a new wave of chaos started crashing in from every direction. You thought a courtroom candy comparison was wild? Wait until you see what happens when the internet, anonymous sources, and a sea of fake investigative reports turn one viral moment into a full-blown circus. Because, let's be honest, in 2025, there is no such thing as a small scandal anymore, especially not when the main character is Diddy. The man has lived his life at the center of the spotlight, always controlling the story, always dodging bullets, sometimes literally. But when Jane Doe's testimony went nuclear, that control shattered. Suddenly, everyone with a phone, a grudge, or a wild story to sell was racing to be the next exclusive source. You think Netflix invented cliffhangers? Please. The real streaming service is social media during a celebrity meltdown. Leaked DMs, audio clips, even blurry screenshots claiming to show insider knowledge started surfacing within hours. Some of these sources were so obviously fake they might as well have come with a watermark from the National Enquirer, but the internet didn't care. The point wasn't the truth, it was the drama, the roast, and the sense that finally, the mighty Diddy had become the butt of the world's biggest joke. One so-called whistleblower, who only identified themselves as Sugar Daddy, claimed to have worked security at one of Diddy's infamous parties. In a grainy voice note that sounded suspiciously like it was recorded in a bathroom stall, Sugar Daddy described vaults of NDAs, rooms stacked with nothing but candy, and a list of party rules, so specific you'd swear they were designed by a Disney villain on a sugar high. Bro, they had a sign-in sheet for the Tootsie Rolls. You think I'm kidding? I signed it. Twice, said Sugar Daddy, before his phone line cut out. Whether any of this was real didn't matter. By sundown, his voice was remixed into a dozen TikTok songs and reaction reels. But it wasn't just alleged ex-employees coming out of the woodwork. Suddenly, social media was flooded with blurry financial statements purporting to show that Diddy and his crew spent over $250,000 in 1 month on party favors. And no, not the kind you find in a child's birthday bag. The receipts listed everything from VIP guest discretion fees to custom candy-shaped body pillows. One line item just said miscellaneous mood lighting, emergency use only, and the internet instantly lost its collective mind trying to guess what that was really about. Every leak just poured gasoline on the fire. An anonymous DJ, calling himself DJ Gobstopper, claimed in an interview with a podcast no one had heard of before, or since, that he was paid exclusively in Tootsie Rolls and premium exposure. Was he telling the truth? Who cares? By the next morning, his story was everywhere, and memes of DJs spinning records made of candy were trending on Twitter. And then there were the insiders. Oh, the insiders. Every influencer and their cousin suddenly had a cousin who once parked Diddy's car and saw something suspicious. There were tales of grown adults fighting over lollipops, NDAs being handed out like Halloween treats, and one report of a candy security detail hired to guard the confectionery stash. One anonymous event planner told a tabloid it was like Willy Wonka if Willy was running a billionaire's underground rave. Did she exist? Did it matter? Not in the world of clickbait and scandal. Meanwhile, actual journalists tried to keep up, calling sources, reviewing court docs, and trying not to laugh at the never-ending candy puns flooding their inboxes. But who could blame them? When the most viral quote of the day is, "I was relieved because I knew it wouldn't hurt that much." Even the Associated Press is tempted to sneak a joke into the headline. As this tsunami of fake news, real allegations, and meme magic swept the web, Diddy's PR team was reportedly in meltdown mode. Sources say crisis managers were flown in from 3 different time zones, with hourly rates higher than the court's bailiff's yearly salary. Someone allegedly tried to buy every Tootsie Roll in the city to prevent further humiliation, but, sorry, you can't outbid the meme economy. And of course, the memes. Oh, the memes. Within 24 hours. Hashtag Tootsie Roll Challenge was the top trend on TikTok, with people reenacting the testimony using candy bars and, in some cases, actual lawyers in their family. One Instagram account posted a mashup of Diddy's classic album covers, except now he's holding a Tootsie Roll instead of a mic. Twitter turned brutal, with Itty Bitty Diddy trending in 10 countries and a petition circulating to rename all his albums after candy puns. Even celebrities couldn't resist jumping in. 50 Cent, never one to pass up a troll, posted a picture of a giant Tootsie Roll with the caption, "It's not the size, it's the legend." Harsh. Not to be outdone, Jimmy Fallon did an entire monologue in rhyme, while Trevor Noah openly wondered if the judge would let Diddy plead guilty to bad branding. Even Judge Judy weighed in, calling it a circus without the good snacks. Meanwhile, some ambitious souls started a GoFundMe called Justice for Candy Victims, which quickly raised $32 and a lifetime supply of leftover Halloween treats. But as the world laughed, real consequences started brewing behind the scenes. Legal teams were scrambling, government investigators were poking around Diddy's business empire, and rumor had it several major brands were quietly pulling their sponsorships. You could almost hear the sound of nervous phone calls as publicists everywhere updated their resumes. And this is where the scandal began mutating from meme to menace. For every meme, there was a fresh leak, real or fake, suggesting that what had started as a viral roast might actually be the lid blowing off a much bigger cauldron of secrets. Some claimed Diddy's parties were fronts for all sorts of shadowy dealings. Others said the freak-off tapes, if they even existed, would make anything on Netflix look tame. There were even whispers that more accusers were preparing to come forward, each with stories more outrageous than the last. Insiders claimed that lawyers were working round the clock to negotiate hush money, while Netflix and Hulu started a bidding war for exclusive documentary rights. Word on the street was that more celebrities were quietly lawyering up, just in case their names appeared in the next round of leaks. Even Diddy's closest allies were reportedly laying low, suddenly unavailable for comments or Instagram collabs. As all this was swirling, Diddy himself was reportedly holed up in one of his many penthouses, fielding crisis calls, dodging paparazzi, and possibly reconsidering every life choice that brought him here. For a man who once built a reputation on being untouchable, it was a masterclass in how quickly things can fall apart in the age of viral outrage. So here we are, with the world laughing, the lawyers panicking, and the court of public opinion holding a kangaroo trial that's louder than anything going on in the actual courthouse. But as the laughter starts to fade and the legal machine ramps up, the stakes only get higher. Because memes are temporary, but lawsuits are forever, and the fallout from this mess is only just beginning. And that's exactly where we pick up in part 3. The crash, the chaos, and the ultimate consequences. Because once the laughter dies down, the real pain begins. And in the world of celebrity scandals, there's always one more twist left in the wrapper. Stick around, because it's about to get even wilder. If you thought the first 2 acts were wild, welcome to the grand finale, where the memes hit the fan, the lawyers hit the panic button, and the mighty empire of Diddy faces a meltdown bigger than his platinum album sales. Because when the world stops laughing, the real storm starts, and no amount of Tootsie Rolls can sweeten the mess about to unfold. As the public's giggles die down, a deadly silence sweeps in, the kind of silence that means serious people in expensive suits are about to start making moves. While Diddy's name trends for all the wrong reasons, somewhere in the background, federal agents are reviewing the leaked financials, legal watchdogs are sniffing for any signs of racketeering, and every rival in the industry is secretly popping popcorn, watching the chaos from a safe distance. If there's one thing Hollywood loves more than a comeback, it's a takedown, and this one is shaping up to be Oscar-worthy. The legal fallout comes at Diddy like a tidal wave with no lifeboat in sight. His attorneys, who only days ago strutted into court with that "we've got this" swagger, now look like extras in a disaster movie. Suddenly, every detail, real, exaggerated, or flat-out invented, is being dissected in the news. Cable networks run 24-hour Diddy Watch coverage. Analysts with impressive-sounding law degrees debate the legalities of candy-based humiliation, and Twitter lawyers hand out verdicts faster than actual judges. Government investigators launch what they call Operation Sweet Tooth, because why not add insult to injury? And sources say multiple agencies are now crawling through Diddy's business empire, his calendar, his text messages, and probably his Uber Eats history. Are the allegations true? Were the NDAs signed under duress? Did he really order 100 pounds of chocolate for business expenses? It doesn't matter. In the court of public opinion, the only thing anyone wants to hear is guilty. Meanwhile, inside Camp Diddy, it's pure pandemonium. Crisis PR teams have set up a round-the-clock war room, fueled by energy drinks and existential dread. His publicists, once used to spinning minor beefs into viral PR stunts, are now faced with something far uglier. Major sponsors quietly cutting ties, award shows yanking invitations, and even those D-list reality TV shows starting to look out of reach. And remember those friends who always showed up for a free bottle at Diddy's parties? Poof. Vanished. Loyalty is expensive, and business is business. But that's just the surface. The real aftershocks start as the first resignation letters hit the news. Several board members at Diddy's companies announced they're stepping down to focus on family. Translation: I don't want to go down with this ship. Rumors swirl that a shadow committee has taken control of the empire, quietly prepping for bankruptcy filings or a total rebrand. Meanwhile, investors are in open revolt, demanding answers, while the company's stock, already shaky, drops faster than Diddy's streaming numbers after the Tootsie Roll incident. And if you thought the memes would fade, think again. Now they turn darker, more pointed. Late-night comics call Diddy the Willy Wonka of court cases. TikTokers stage mock resignation ceremonies, tossing miniature Tootsie Rolls into the air like confetti. Even competing rappers use their new singles to take not-so-subtle shots. Ain't nobody scared of a candy kingpin. One verse goes, your legacy melts quicker than your Tootsie Roll bling. Of course, as the financial squeeze tightens, the rumors reach fever pitch. Did Diddy try to bribe a hotel security guard with a year's supply of Skittles? Did a government official really find a gold-plated vending machine in Diddy's basement? Was there, in fact, a secret candy vault underneath his New York penthouse? At this point, it almost doesn't matter. The more outlandish the claim, the more the public eats it up, literally and figuratively. But it's not just Diddy's career that's on the chopping block, it's his entire legacy. Former collaborators start distancing themselves. Old acquaintances suddenly remember dark details from long ago, and ex-friends begin selling their stories to the highest bidder. If you think cancel culture is brutal, wait until you see what happens when the cancellation comes with a side of sugar. As one anonymous industry veteran quips to a tabloid, in Hollywood, you can survive anything except being the punchline. Meanwhile, the government investigation reaches its crescendo. With every leaked document, every anonymous testimony, and every meme-feed court update, the pile of allegations grows. News anchors use words like criminal enterprise, racketeering, and unprecedented. Congressional committees threaten to haul in music executives for public grilling. And just when you think it can't get any worse, new accusers emerge, some credible, some clearly chasing clout, each with their own stories of wild parties, NDAs, and, yes, even more candy comparisons. By now, even the judge can't keep a straight face, and court reporters have run out of new ways to describe awkward silence. But awkward is the least of Diddy's problems. The feds moved to freeze some of his assets, claiming a pattern of concealment and abuse. The DA's office leaks that they're strongly considering criminal charges. Suddenly, Diddy's lawyers are less focused on damage control and more focused on finding a plea deal that doesn't end with their client wearing orange jumpsuits. The music industry scrambles to rewrite history, quietly erasing Diddy's contributions from playlists, digital catalogs, and, rumor has it, even the Hall of Fame. Documentarians rush to pitch the rise and fall of the Candy King, and podcasts race to get exclusive interviews with anyone who so much as delivered a pizza to Diddy's mansion. At this point, the financial hit becomes public. Shareholders launch class action lawsuits, claiming Diddy's antics wiped out their retirement funds. Former employees file claims for emotional distress. And one enterprising lawyer files what might be the world's first lawsuit for reputational damage via candy-based defamation. Good luck with that, counselor. Through it all, the biggest casualty isn't the money, the companies, or even the streaming numbers. It's Diddy's reputation. Once untouchable, now as fragile as a lollipop in July. For decades, he built an empire on swagger, power, and the illusion of control. Now, it's all been undone by a single viral testimony, a handful of memes, and the unstoppable momentum of public outrage. And here's the real kicker. The same system that made Diddy famous, celebrity culture, social media, the nonstop gossip machine, is the one tearing him down. One week you're a mogul, the next you're a meme, and in between, all it takes is the right witness, the wrong moment, and an internet with way too much free time. So what's left? As Diddy faces the biggest battle of his life, both legal and personal, the world watches, half in horror, half in delight, as one of music's biggest icons learns that in 2025, no one is immune to the viral scandal machine. The story may end in a courtroom, but its impact will echo everywhere, across social media, in industry boardrooms, and in the collective memory of a public that never forgets a good punchline. But let's not pretend the story is really over. Because for every scandal, there's always another secret, another expose, another would-be whistleblower ready to trade a juicy tale for a shot at fame. The game never stops, and as one empire falls, a dozen new ones wait in the wings, ready to take its place. So, what do you think, people? Is this the ultimate example of karma coming for the rich and famous? Or just another episode in the endless reality show we call modern celebrity? Will Diddy bounce back, drop a diss track about candy, and headline Coachella next year? Or is this the end of an era, a crash so loud it'll echo for years? Let's hear your wildest theories in the comments. And hey, if you want the real, unfiltered, meme-fueled truth behind the next viral disaster, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because here, we never sugarcoat the facts unless there's a Tootsie Roll involved. Stay scandalous, stay curious, and remember, in a world this wild, you never know what's coming next. So, now that you've witnessed the meltdown of the century and seen a hip-hop empire crumble faster than a fun-sized candy bar on a summer day, it's time for you to weigh in. Is Diddy done for good, or is this just another plot twist in the never-ending saga of celebrity drama? Will Tootsie Roll Gate be the meme that finally breaks the internet, or will a new scandal steal the spotlight before the week is even over? Let me know what you think in the comments. Drop your wildest theory, your funniest meme, or just tell us what candy you'll never look at the same way again. And hey, if you've got your own anonymous source story or a hot take spicier than courtroom tea, I want to hear it. Don't forget to smash that like button if you love a good celebrity train wreck. Subscribe for more savage truth bombs and viral breakdowns, and ring that notification bell so you never miss the next shocking expose. Because here, the receipts are always fresh, the sarcasm's always free, and trust me, the scandals just keep getting sweeter. So, stay tuned, stay suspicious, and remember, in this world, no secret stays wrapped for long, especially if it's covered in chocolate. Catch you in the next one.